year of really just taking care of each other, both as the employer and the employee. There was no way for any of us in the restaurant industry to anticipate that or to have the kind of cash cushion financially to absorb that. So it was a little bit of a panic at first when like when the revenues went to zero. But we recovered well. We, like worked with our vendors and just innovated all year round. People are going to continue to want to take food to go, as well as outdoor dining. I think there's going to be a whole new level of demand for outdoor dining as we move into 2021 and just having year-round options to get people outside. I think it's working not only, with our teams to continue to evolve and be flexible, but also to work with each other as an industry. I think we're seeing that more and more. I'm on several group text messages with local restaurant owners, and it's comfortable. I mean, we consider ourselves competitors like day in and day out, but all that kind of went away this year, and we're more sharing ideas and resources and just helping each other out. The servers are coming in and doing to-go food and not working for tips, or they're helping us with the barbecue drive-throughs, and we've supported them as much as we possibly can in a very challenging year through our food shelf that we did for our hospitality group in Egan, and the barbecue drive-throughs for a difference. We raised $50,000 for what we call the Employee Relief Fund, where we've been able to help out employees who maybe couldn't make a car payment because they've been laid off. We're not a chain. Yes, we have 4 locations, but we still very much consider ourselves a family, locally owned restaurant group that gives back to the community as much as we can. We almost never say no to somebody who has a letter in their hand looking for a donation for a sports organization or church group. And we've tried to continue to do that even throughout this. So I think that's really what I think stands out with us is Amazon's not going to sponsor your little league team. It's the local restaurants and local retail places that are always going to be there for the community.
The biggest thing that is an advantage, I guess, as an old family company is you remember the stories that have been passed down by generations. And one thing that I uncovered in some of our materials is that in 1918, during that pandemic, our company, which was also in garment manufacturing, switched over and was making masks. And so it's kind of ironic, 102 years later, that was one of the first things we did was start making masks, as there was nothing available. The first thing we did, I guess the first instinct was panic. And then after we panicked, we decided that nobody's going to lose their job. We're going to keep everybody working. So we came up with all kinds of things that haven't been getting done. We'll get through this. I was really impressed with the resilience of our employees and the willingness to take on different tasks. We made huge strides in improving our company-wide communications. So when the pandemic hit, we set up a separate COVID response meeting that for 2 months, we were doing these meetings every day. And I think that more than anything gave us the structure to stay organized. And then one of the outcomes of that is how do you cascade the message? Because people panic when they, am I going to lose my job? What's going to happen? Nobody knew at that time. We could look back on it and say it was really bad, but at the time we had no idea how long it's going to last. I think it's all about the people. And it sounds so glib, but without the workforce that we have, loyal, dedicated employees, when things came back, we had the workforce. Our industry was designated as essential early on. We had to make deliveries, and we're known for being dependable, known to have the best service in the market. We're in the keeping clean and safe business. And even for ourselves, how much more careful we are about cleaning surfaces, not being too close to people, how we deal with, if you're sick, don't come to work. And I could see a real benefit in the future of continuing some of these practices, because you think about, well, what about the regular influenza or the common cold, and how much cost goes into those things that will be with us continuously anyway.
I was very pleased and proud to see staff at every level of the organization digging in, embracing the change, and coming up with new ideas that we could implement really quickly to maintain safety, but also deliver the services that we could, the best that we could. We have a workforce that is so passionate, a lot of times based upon their own personal experiences and own personal struggles, and sort of a desire to change the world, or to be, kind of one person at a time. A group of people working in a nonprofit, not making very much money. It blows my mind, that staff commitment, despite those challenges. I worry about how we're going to continue to maintain and grow that workforce. We had 2 days to go remote, and they just got everybody's computer and technology configured and set up, making sure that all of our staff had the resources to work from home and understood what were business critical needs. We had to work with the federal government and our state government to get waivers so that we could provide the services that we normally provide and bill for virtually. So it was really about stabilizing our revenue and assessing. And then from there, it was just, I'd say that the third stage is just keeping up with all of the information, trying to keep myself from not refreshing the Department of of Health's website on cases, almost just day-to-day updates on the CDC recommendations. And then I think realizing that we were going to be in this for the long haul. The bottom line is we've been able to deliver all of our services virtually to clients, except for some very intensive ones. We do have 2 treatment centers where clients live 24/7, and so those programs have stayed open throughout the entire pandemic, to just get to know our community and understand the needs that are out there, working to kind of talk about mental health in a way that's less stigmatizing and more productive and healthy. And I think that the more that we interact with the local business community, they see those needs, but maybe don't always know how to talk about it. And so I think that it's been it's a nice give and take to be able to build those relationships within our community and really support each other.
What I've learned is be ready for anything. Anything can happen. Cash flow is king. Make sure you have a war chest, because guess what? You can be blindsided at any moment. When this thing started, I was fearful for our future and everything. And, I guess what I've learned is be flexible and don't worry about change. Change is not bad. Change can be good. To navigate through it took a lot of pivoting. And in order for the cash flow to increase, you have to do 2 things: increase revenue and decrease your expenses. So the first time I heard we were shut down, I looked at our 3 biggest expenses and ran to our landlord here, Marvin Windows, they're wonderful, and said, we're going to be facing a shutdown, and would you work with us on deferring our mortgage to the back part of our lease? And they were very accommodating then, and we just did that again during this last shutdown. I went to our bank, and we had some loans at the bank, and we figured out some ways to reduce their defer payments on that, and then actually the SBA took over and helped us even more on that. But then a lot of people were afraid to come out, especially during the first shutdown. So what we did to keep people employed is we started a delivery service, and that was extremely successful. The patrons that ordered from us were amazing. They ordered a lot, and they tipped our drivers, who are employees that were going to be furloughed. Our community is amazing. We try to give back as much as we can. just because we believe that we're living in this vibrant community south of the river. And we've just been amazed by the support that we received during the shutdown, and then we were open back up. We knew it would be important for us to invest a lot into the sanitation and into the social distancing of our brewery, because our society is going to change through this. And it'll be interesting looking back on what we did right and what we did wrong. You know, big is not better. That being in your community and staying home is not all that bad. You know, we've already seen a huge trend, you know, from when we started to now, how people take pride in their community and in their businesses in their community. Try to be grateful for what you have and what they've given you. That's kind of what I would say. You know, life is full of ups and downs, and it's during the times when you're down is when you learn the most about yourselves and your business. Boy, there's a lot of hardy Minnesotians that like to go outside and drink beer. And because of those people, the Bold North drinkers of craft beer, we've been able to bring quite a few of them back. I mean, I think almost all of them will come back.